Tyler Jeff Patterson from TSN Radio here in town. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you just kind of walk us through the past week here? I know you met with the Canucks early on in the process. How much interest was there, and ultimately how many true possibilities were there for you to, as a destination?
There were two, maybe three serious ones, but I didn't know what to expect coming into the in-person meeting, and ultimately I ended up very much enjoying it. It gave me a much better sense of what they were all about, and it played a lot into how the week progressed, and it became very serious after that meeting for me.
What made this then the right fit?
I look at the team, I look at the city. My family's from Kelowna. Not only am I very excited where the team is at, you take a look at the jump that they made last year. That was exciting for me to see when making my decision. I'm gonna try and be a piece that can ultimately help them take the next step forward. So it was very exciting for me in that aspect, but a lot of this decision came. I wanted it to be a good fit for the family, and I'm very excited for my wife, being close to home, having a lot of family around her. Obviously, the city speaks for itself. It's a great city. Always enjoyed coming in to play here, and it just was a great fit all around for us.
Hey, Tyler, you had an interesting year in Winnipeg. You moved up and down the lineup. There were various injuries. You were in different pairings. What do you think the year did for you to just advance your ability to play in all kinds of different situations?
As my career has gone along, I feel I've got better and better of just focusing on the things that I can control, and no matter if a lot of change happens throughout any particular year, you just you go into each day focused on playing your best hockey, whether it's in practice or in a game. And a lot of guys last year were thrown into different situations, like you said, based on injuries or other things. And for me, it's staying even keel, focusing on the things that put me at my best. And that's what I've tried to do the last 2, 3, 4 years especially.
When you're playing your best, Tyler, what are you doing?
I think my biggest strength is my skating. I think when I'm playing my best hockey, I'm moving my feet. Usually the rest follows when that's happening, and it's really just focusing on something as little as that for me. Not overthinking, playing a simple game, and making sure I'm moving my feet, and the rest will take care of itself.
The game is so quick today. You talked about decision making. Is that more paramount of importance now? The fact that when you do get the puck, that first pass has to be quick and sharp. And
for sure, even since I came in the league, you always hear about a D-man's first pass. I think I talked about the skating aspect of it. I think that's a lot of it. Putting yourself in a position to make that first pass. And it usually becomes a little bit easier. Game slows down a little bit when you're moving your feet like that. So, that's a lot of my focus. It sounds really simple, but it's helped me a lot with my development in the last few years.
Last one from me. What about defending in today's game? I mean, you're a big guy. You've got the big wingspan, but it's such a quick game. What are the challenges for a big guy when it comes to defending down low?
Obviously, the game is trending towards a faster game. You see how the pace of play is getting faster and faster by each year. As a bigger guy, I think we get labeled that we don't move as well as the smaller guys, but I pride myself on being a guy that can move well, and you still have to work at it to continue to be able to, but certainly a lot of the off-season prep is making sure you're staying quick for today's game and making sure that you're able to keep up.
Jim, just in terms of where you see Tyler fitting in, just why him? I know there's been debate about where he slots in. You played behind two pretty good guys on the right side in Winnipeg, and potentially a guy that could play with Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, well, our objective going into free agency was to make our defense better, and I think today we accomplished that. Adding Tyler, adding Jordy Ben, and Oscar, like it makes our defense deeper. Like I've talked to Travis, Tyler, he's going to see how it plays out in training camp, but he could use him with Alex Edler in a matchup role. He could play with Quinn. With his skating and his versatility, he can, play different roles for our group. And so I'm very happy today that he chose us.
Tyler, given where Winnipeg's defense was versus where this one is, you're probably going to play a bigger role here than maybe you did there. How much does that? How excited are you about that possibility?
Oh, very excited. There were obviously times the past couple of years where, things got a little frustrating, but, it was a great group of guys. And like I said, you focus on what you can control. And, there were times where there was quite a bit of injuries where, I was able to show what I can do in that role. And I'm excited to bring it here to Vancouver.
There seems to be some differing opinions, Jim, on Myers, particularly from those who ascribe to analytics in hockey. What role did analytics play at all in your free agency this year, and what role did they play in signing Myers?
Well, analytics, we have a strong analytics department, and we have guys that do all that for us, and we listen to them. But with Tyler, it's more than the analytics. It's what he brings to our overall group. And with his size, his skating, his ability to jump up into play, we just felt like he's just hitting his stride here. Where given more opportunity, more ice time, one of the things that our defensemen maybe didn't shoot the puck from the point and didn't create rebounds and tip-ins and stuff. And Tyler's got a good shot. He can add to that to our group. So. And Jordy Ben is an analytics darling. If you look at, his numbers and what he accomplished this year, 5-on-5, and but he's a guy, we like his versatility. He can play on either side. Whether he's playing with Quinn or he's playing with Stetch, he's a good penalty killer. So I think analytics played a big part.
And you said earlier that you had prepared for the Luongo cap recapture, that you knew it was coming, but did it prevent you from making some moves here in free agency?
Well, it was a kick in the shins. I'll be perfectly honest with you. We knew it could come. It happened, and it kind of, stopped us from maybe adding, one more piece to our team this year. So, but we're happy. We're able to reshape our defense. I feel our defense is a lot better now. We've got a lot more experience going into this next season. Adding Miller, I think, is really going to help us up front. But we're going to continue to look at things, and if we can keep adding to our group, we're going to do it.
Jim, that was my next question for you. When you look at what's left on your plate, you told us you wanted to get a top six forward. You're projecting JT Miller there. You wanted to get a top six D-man. You have him there sitting beside you. When you look at what's still needing to be done with this franchise, what is left on your plate? As we've talked about in the past.
Yeah, well, we're just going to see how free agency plays out here the next couple days. After free agency, there's maybe teams that felt they didn't get a guy, and there might be trades available to us. We want to continue to, make the team better, and I think what we've done here the last couple of weeks, we've taken a step in the right direction, and we're going to continue to work at it till we get to where we want to be.
So where do you think you are right now in terms of accelerating? We said rebuild, we used that word the last couple of years, to where obviously the playoffs is the ultimate goal. Where do you think you are on that path? And then second part of the question, when you look at all the forwards that you still have, on your roster, are you going to try to make some moves with some of the people that you still have there?
Yeah, well, like I said at the end of the year, we want to take the next step with our group, and part of that is our young players continuing to get better and making sure that we support our young players with, veterans that are good players to help them get to that next level. So, and adding JT Miller and adding Tyler and Ben, I think, we got experienced guys that can help our young players continue to improve. And as far as the other question, we're going to continue to, keep making calls, see what's out there. If there's anything that we can do, we'd like to add another forward maybe. We got a lot of forwards still left, in our group, but if we can add another forward, that's what we'd look to do.
Where are you with Brock?
Well, Brock is, we'll continue talking to Ben Hankinson and his group and try to get something figured out there.
How difficult is that going to be? You got about 9.1 left after today's moves, and you've got a bunch of RFAs to re-sign a lot of bodies. I mean, can you think you can move some bodies in the summer?
Well, we're going to try. We're going to try to, and the other part to the question is there's competition now for jobs and ice time at training camp. So, the message is that we want to continue to get better. Our guys, they see the moves we made this summer. They know we're serious about, being competitive and, keep getting better. So everyone's going to have to come in good shape and ready to go to earn a job on the team and ice time.
Tyler, it's been a long time since you've had to change organizations. Do you have any connections with any of your new teammates, whether you played with them internationally before or anywhere from junior onwards?
I played with Alex when I got called up as an underage to the Kelowna Rockets back when I was in junior. Alex was 19, and we were actually D partners for a couple months, so there's a little connection there. I know Suts a little bit. A few of the guys texted me this morning, so getting acquainted. I'm excited to meet him in person, but just a little bit of connection, I guess.
Hey, Tyler, how aware were you of the debate in this market last week after your visit about whether you'd be a good thing or a bad thing for the Canucks? And did it give you any pause about, is this the market that you really want to come into?
I didn't have any awareness with that stuff.
You're accustomed to playing in a Canadian market. How do you think it will be playing in one where the scrutiny is so intense and at times unyielding if things aren't going your way?
Well, I would say if this was, 10 years ago when I came into the league, I wouldn't be ready for it. But I feel I've grown up a lot. I've been around long enough now that it doesn't faze me at all, really. But the thing that solves any negativity is winning, and that's the ultimate goal coming into the group is being a puzzle piece to help this team win. And everybody's happy when we're winning, so that's what we're going to try and do.
And Jim, were you concerned at all that people would give Tyler a fair chance based on some of the initial reaction, which granted was fueled by this idea that he might be a $7 or $8 million player, but as a GM bringing him into this market, are you concerned at all about that?
No, I have to do the things that I feel are the right things to do to make our team better and keep moving forward. And I've watched Tyler since junior. I followed his career when he was in Buffalo and in Winnipeg, and I just felt like it's a great fit for our group going forward because, he can play today's style game because of his skating, and he's 6'8". So we've seen in the playoffs, St. Louis won the cup, and with some big defensemen that can skate and move the puck, and I think Tyler's a piece to the puzzle for us going forward.
Jim, you talked a little bit about Jordy Ben earlier. You guys had kind of been linked to Tyler for a while. Was Jordy a target of yours as well, or can you just kind of walk us through how you arrived at, and you talked a little bit about what you like about him, but also Fantenberg too, just kind of where does he fit in all of this?
So Jordy, obviously he's from Victoria. His agent, Rich Evans, been, I have a relationship with him. We've talked. So kind of going through the week, you know, we just kept talking more and more. We just felt like his versatility, his ability to play both sides, he's a steady, stay-at-home defenseman, but, you know, he produced some numbers last year too. So, you know, with our young players, and I don't know, you know, where the fit is, who's going to play with who, but I just felt like he's just a steady, safe guy that's going to fit in. He's a good two-way player that's going to fit into the way Travis wants to play, and he's a good guy to join our group. Now Oscar, kind of the same thing, a good two-way player. Played in LA last year, got traded to Calgary. You know, he's a steady guy that can skate, move the puck. So, you know, I think, you know, going into free agency, our goal is to improve our defense, and I feel real strongly that we're able to do that.
Jim, with where this organization is at, missing the playoffs for 4 years, rebuilding, and your contract status, does it alter your thinking at all to, I don't want to say rush things, but maybe do things differently? Have you stayed the
No.
course? I mean,
Yeah, no, we're going to stay the course here, but we've drafted well. We got some real good young players that are going to keep getting better and better every year, but we want to make sure that we, you know, sign players that can help support them and get them to where, you know, they need to be for us to win. And, you know, that's, you know, you'll see with our signings today, that's what it was about.
Jim, it's being reported that Tyler's contract is bonus heavy. Can you explain why you structured the contract the way you did?
Yeah, it's not bonus heavy. I don't know, that's bad information.
Okay, it's just from.
Jim, when you look at the players that you're going to have to sign in the next season, in the next 2 seasons, the challenges ahead in terms of salary with Elias, Troy Stetcher, we've talked about Besser. How do you look at the future of the next 2 years with this hockey team?
Well, the good thing is we have Petey for another couple of years. We're going to try to, you know, figure Brock's situation out this summer. You know, Quinn Hughes, we have 2 more years. Demko, we have 2 more years. So, but we're aware that, you know, in a couple of years, we're going to, you know, if these players continue to, you know, go forward from where they're at now, that they're going to get paid. So, if you look at our contract structure on our players, like we have a lot of contracts coming off the books, and so that won't be a problem.
Talked about competition, especially on the forwards, because you have so many of them under contract. Has ownership given you the go-ahead that if things don't work out, either trying to ship bodies out, that you'll send guys to the minors who might be on big tickets?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Like if guys, you know, we did it last year, and you know, there's going to be competition for jobs a nice time at training camp, and if, you know, we're kind of up against it a little bit on the cap now, and so, and if we were to add another player, that's a possibility. So, you know, our owner's been, Francesco's been 100% supportive of the moves we made here the last couple of weeks and the direction that we want to go in, and he's helped us out, so I really appreciate that.
Building off Jay was asking about kind of looking down the road in 2 years' time, how does the expansion draft loom over these deals that you're doing now?
Well, we take that into account, but I don't think we'll have any problems with the players that we need to protect for expansion.
Is there any no-move stuff on Tyler's contract?
Not in the expansion year.
We'll take the opportunity to close it there and one-on-one if there are any. Okay.